Welcome back. We are glad you are still keeping us company here on Good Morning Kenya. In case you are just joining us, karibu tena sana. I am Jain Wambui. Remember, we always love interacting with you. You can talk to us via our various communication platforms. On Twitter, the hashtag you need to get on is Good Morning Kenya. Our official station handle ever remains to be at KBC Channel 1 on both Facebook and Twitter. And of course, my individual handle is at Jain Wambui. We thoroughly appreciate those of you who have already tuned in and retweeting all our posts. We appreciate you. And as we get into the next conversation, we urge you to share with us your thoughts and comments, or if you're just seeking clarification in regards to this discussion that we are about to get into, we welcome you to share that with us. And right now, we want to have a conversation around the state of COVID-19 in our country. As we know it, most countries across the world are riding the fourth wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. And in this case, it is the Delta variant. And as per the articles that have been put out there by medical experts, this variant is a silent killer and has a higher death toll. It kills at a faster rate and the symptoms do not show as soon as they are expected. This variant is getting smarter by the day in one way or the other. But now bringing this conversation to the Kenyan space. As of the update that was given by the Ministry of Health yesterday, 976 cases were recorded in the past 24 hours with an additional 10 deaths recorded, bringing the total of deaths in our country to 3,882. And also, that puts the positivity rate in our country at 14.2%. Now, what are we doing as a people? Because this goes to show that looking at the Ministry of Health protocols that have been put in place to help curb the spread of COVID-19 has been put to question, and therein comes the role of the citizen. And more so, looking at this space that we are in, there comes in the Nyumba Kumi program. How can the Nyumba Kumi clusters be used to curb the spread of COVID-19? How can we utilize the Nyumba Kumi initiative to ensure that you and I, as we interact in the public spaces, are aware of what is happening not just in Kenya, but the world over when it comes to COVID-19? To help us with this conversation this morning, we have with us in studio Joseph Kaguthi, who is the former provincial commissioner as well as the former Nyumba Kumi chair. Good morning, Mr. Kaguthi.
Morning, and mwananchi mtukufu hujambo.
Karibu sana. Good morning, Kenya.
Morning. It's nice to be here again.
Good to have you.
I have not attended any interview in these studios from March last year.
I remember the last time we actually had you was via a Zoom meeting on our previous set.
Even yesterday there was a lot of discussion.
Yes.
I almost got coerced by John Angari. Then there was the children, one of them, Dr. Nyokabi Kaguthi, refusing that I should not move out of the compound, particularly now with that this Delta kind of variant is on. I apologize to you. I had to come, but I was going to the radio, not to this one. But it's okay. I have tried and I have not reached myself.
We apologize, Dr.
This one. We apologize to her.
We apologize for bringing
and I'm not going to move again. They are saying no to the elders. Avoid going to where public is. You are vulnerable. You are vulnerable. So keep to yourself. And why I said mwananchi mtukufu, you remember I greet mwananchi mtukufu? Is because I now know that you are on your own. Dear citizen, you are on your own. It is not a government kind of protection. No, government will not protect you here. In fact, even the curfew is a civilian curfew.
Responsibility,
from last year, even all these conditions we are given, it is you and you alone. If you play about, it's you who is vulnerable. And when the governors were talking, remember there was one time the president invited the governors here. And remember one governor, Kilifi, Kingi, Governor Kingi, is one I liked. He said, it is embarrassing for police to come supervising my citizens when it is the citizens who should be supervising
themselves,
their own individual protection. It is not, you cannot be protected by anybody.
Yes.
It is only you as citizen. So I agree with you, Wambui. I wish you well. Even the statistics that I am getting,
yeah,
I have had some family attacks, and I can tell you that I discovered it is possible. The 14% is talking about ministry is much more
higher,
because we are treating our patients at home, away from
the health facilities. Yes,
we treated one through the hospital, and she passed on. My sister in March. We treated another one out of a hospital.
The home-based
those
care
survived with the husband. So we don't record. So it is possible is more. Kwa hivyo we come back to the threat.
Yes.
And may I emphasize from a home front now.
Yes.
Mwananchi wa kawaida ambaye anakaa chini ya mti anaangalia, this thing is very dangerous. Mtu ambaye anacheza without barakoa, without spacing, you are on your own.
Now, allow me to just come in at that point and just look at the fact that could there be an information gap when it comes to what even the Ministry of Health is doing in terms of enlightening the common mwananchi, because most of the time we are told to follow this Ministry of Health guidelines. Put on your masks, maintain social distance, sanitize and wash your hands as much as you possibly can. But we don't always get to look at the consequences unless you have interacted with someone or known someone who has actually suffered the consequences of the virus. Do you think the fact that there could be an information gap is also one of the reasons as to why most of the people are not observing these protocols?
Let's borrow from the preacher's point of view, the Christian.
Yes.
John 3:16. Ulisikia ukiwa kwa nursery. Ulisikia hata sasa. You get it?
Yes.
So the nature of the human being is they forget. Sometimes the temptation is very high. I'm sorry to quote this.
Yes.
As I arrived with John Agari here at the gate of the KBC, there were two ladies. One of them did not have barakoa. Nyumba Kumi says, ukiona sema, ukisikia sema, ukishuku sema. Don't that if you see something is wrong, because Nyumba Kumi is security.
Yes.
And COVID-19 is a security issue. It is a security issue at civilian level. So don't say anybody has not had in the country, but citizens have that tendency of forgetting, being overcarried. I asked the lady, where is your barakoa? She was coming from going on the other side. Then she said, I think she just forgot, but instead of telling me I forgot, I said, I am young. It's an excuse, isn't it?
Yes.
But if you look at it closely, ni kusahau alisahau they were talking. So that's why kwangu, we think the gaps which are there, not because they have not had, but because of the human nature. But there is one lot or two lots who we might blame. Wambui.
Yes, sir.
I must be forgiven for directing my attention to our political leaders and the clergy. And I'm asking every citizen, if you look at Runinga TV, you look at that leader who is talking. If you get people who do not have barakoa, they don't have the masks, that politician is selfish, is indisciplined, and is the wrong person for us.
But that has been what we have seen almost on a weekly basis in the past few weeks.
That's why I even must apologize that when I said if I come, I hope I'll get the opportunity to tell our political leaders, if I'm watching on a news screen, then I see the leader is addressing people who do not have this, or the youth that they hire to shout them up, and they don't have this. That is an enemy of that people, that area. Because 2 weeks after that politician has left, mazishi after mazishi after mazishi, shame on them. They are against those citizens, they are against God, they are against the government. The government has said, go slow now out of the public kind of rallies, because we do not have control of this virus. Now, another one comes called Delta. I'm being told the one you have told us about what the advice you have been given by the Minister of Health. Who can protect you as citizen? Is only you. You are on your own. And if you as a citizen, Nyumba Kumi says, be your brother's keeper. If you look at a news screen, a watch, and you see a politician who does not care, mark it. August next year, don't give that vote to that politician at all, because that politician is only selfish. Yeye anakaa pale, or even is a clergyman, is on a kind of crusade. Where they are talking, you see the congregation, you see some congregants who do not have barakoa, they don't have the mask. That particular preacher is not speaking on behalf of God. He's speaking on himself, and he's selfish.
But we also have some preachers who are telling the people that they are protected in the name of Jesus, you are sanitized in the name of Jesus, and some even telling their congregants, don't put on a mask because you are protected. We have some religious leaders that are blindly misguiding a great majority of people, and we know when it comes to religious matters, many people will go to extremes.
Wambui, they have died. Those who said, in the name of Jesus, I clean this microphone. They have died. Don't test God. Don't believe them. I'm saying don't believe them. That's like when I am coming to this kind of functions, or even when I'm going to even a public function like, but you have attended only those two, and I had to from March last year. I had to, but I made sure that that microphone, there was somebody permanent there sanitizing through, and another one on a bottle washing the hands which are holding the mic. Let us shout. And let's not be soft about it. I'm sorry if, when MD KBC, if I have been very strong or vulgar, I have no apologies to make. I get angry. Where do you want that young man to die so that next year you are elected? If you simply appear in a town and you go on your mic and you start addressing the people, they all forget now.
Social distancing,
an entertainment. It's as if you're in a theater, so they forget that there is a transmission. So we would like to keep on asking Mwenyezi Mungu uone ya kwamba any politician, any leader who does not take care of us in terms of social distancing, instead with the mask kind of rule, God help us. Let that politician not be popular. Let that politician not be elected.
Now, let's bring in the aspect of Nyumba Kumi in line with helping our people, because I like the fact that you mentioned maybe most people could be forgetting, as human nature. It is part of us to forget. So let's come in with Nyumba Kumi, and maybe for the benefit of our viewers, could we start by helping our viewers understand what was the mandate of Nyumba Kumi when it was being put together, and why it is one of the important programs that need to be put to good use at this time that we are dealing with COVID?
You know, I have started many things in this country on a campaign level, and even when I was a DO, when I was a PC, when I was in the office of the president. There is nothing that I have seen that I almost wasted my time like Nyumba Kumi.
Why do you say that?
But I did not lose as much. When it came from a very simple statement, but very loaded, the president on Mashujaa Day, the first Mashujaa Day, October 2013, the statement was in his written speech, security is the joint mandate of every person living in Kenya. We need to come to put ourselves in clusters who know one another. and we help one another. That time we had, you remember the issue of the Al-Shabaab?
Yes.
Know one another. And even...
know your neighbor.
Yeah, know your neighbor. Then the first test of knowing whether that is working, where everybody becomes consensitive, they have their role in security, it is vigilance. Then we were called by the current governor of Kajiado, who was the Minister of Interior, and he asked me, actually, because I was in Mombasa, where are you? When are you coming? Come see me tomorrow if you can. So I went. The president has said that we help people join in Nyumba Kumi kind of systems, and you promote this. I told him, my training until I die, I cannot say no to government, particularly when the president is involved. Any president coming in the country. So I said, I will. I did not even know how you do. So the small team, we started now campaigning, but we had a platform on the community policy. After 2 years, we saw no. Community policy, the elders are appointed by either the chief or the OCS, and they are being killed sometimes by the Al-Shabaab.
Yes.
You remember the Kwale, the Mombasa Old Town, Mount Elgon. Then we say, no, let's go direct now to the citizen, and we changed it to citizen participation in security. That's what the president meant. Now, we started clustering the people, educating, a lot of education. We involved the media, we involved the vernacular channels. We formed faith-based broadcasters organization, so we are able now to help the people clustering themselves. The Federation of Juakari Association told us, no, you're not with the people, it's we with the people. Because they leave your houses, the houses at 5, and they come at around 8. So we went and started training Juakari, the clusters in Juakari. So they are there, and we said they elect their own people. They handle in an autonomous manner. They don't have anybody's authority. That which is of concern in your cluster, they are the ones you address. Come to COVID now. We're asking. In my case, when it came, we removed a lot of things that we had put because it's a mature estate. Tulikuwa tumeweka tu viti, watu wazee wakipita they sit. We removed all of them because we said, supposing yule ambaye alikuwa hapa anakohoa, we cannot continue sanitizing. So tukatoa kule kwa kuingia kwa estate, tuna mtu ambaye anapima
temperature.
Hiyo kitu. And you know, it meant everybody starts getting very concerned. Even now, Chairman wa Nyumba Kumi, you have nearly 400,000 of them. Have your responsibility. Look at the areas of weakness in your estate, in your village, wherever you are, in your family, and see where the weakness is.
Yes.
Remember, the key word is transmission. Don't allow transmission of that. Like one of them, tuliambiwa ati watoto, those health carriers, super spreaders.
Yes.
Do you know, wajuku yangu hawaruhusiwi kuja. And one time, the one that I was apologizing to, akaja na hiyo kadogo kake, kakaruka kaje kahage guka, kakashikwa kakatupa kwa nyuma ya kiti ya gari. Nikatoka, why do you, because you can't do this mbele ya guka. Nini kakaniambia coronavirus. Guka asipate coronavirus. I knew kameambiwa you avoid any transmission. So chairman, committee members of the clusters ya Nyumba Kumi, this is the time you protect your cluster.
Now, speaking of clusters, you know, arguably so, everyone has faced the challenges of COVID-19. And the most spaces where many people are gathering, you find it is, let's say, open air markets. People are trying to get a coin or two. At first, they were taking measures. We had hand washing stations. They were put up, but even some of the constituent representatives, we had sanitizing stations. There were masks being given. But over time, all those measures have slowly but surely been taken away. How can we ensure that even as common mwananchi anajaribu kutafuta shilingi to feed their family, they are still reminded that they need to protect themselves, and especially those that are in the informal sector?
I wish I was talking in Kikuyu. Niseme kuna kawimbo kanasema, keep reminding me about the journey going to heaven. Keep reminding, don't get tired. Serikali yetu. Respond also. Get the authorities, the public health chief, as a chief, get them back doing their job. Standard 2 education ilifundishwa ya kwamba hapana nunua madazi kutoka kwa mama ambaye ni mchafu. If you are going to buy things in the
open air market,
in the open air market, if that lady or that man or that one who does not have barakoa, skip.
But how many people do you think will do that?
No, they are listening. That's why you are here, media. Don't buy to that person. Tangaza. Look at it this way. That just look at that seller. That amekohoa ama mtu mwingine alikohoa akiangalia hiyo vitu yake. Akaacha hiyo vidudu hapa. Wewe unashika hii barakoa yako kwa njia mbaya. Inakuja, inaenda kwa lungs, wewe unakufa. Why do you give them money? Skip. Look at the people who are sensitive.
Yes.
Na wewe chief, assistant chief, wear your uniform. It's rather unfortunate that the APs were removed from them. It's very, very unfortunate as an administrator. Some total miscalculation of government. Weakening your government in the field. It's wrong. It was wrong, a wrong decision. Wear uniform, and when you are unatembea, wakiruhusu wewe uongee the way they are told in the mazishi, they are very effective. I attended the one from my brother. The assistant chief was given the opportunity to talk on behalf of government, and I could see the way he gave us direction. Pahali tunaumia, pahali transmission inakuja, they are listened to. Bora afya, vaa ile nyeupe yako, tembea. Wewe, because you are able to cover yourself, you are able now to meet anybody and tell them follow this. There is one institution that is very important, the institution of the clergy. The clergy. Let the clergyman, over and above me telling them, if you see a clergyman who is addressing a congregation,
yes,
where some members do not have barakoa, that clergyman is not good. That man is not good. Or the spacing is not good, that clergyman is not good. But they are very important vehicle, because within a week they reach nearly 90% of all of us.
Yes.
So if you do the job the media is doing, clergy, and you tell these indisciplined Lord called politicians who address our people without taking care of whether in distances or they are wearing barakoa, don't follow them. But please preach against it. Let it be everybody's job. In fact, if there is any legacy the President Uhuru Kenyatta will leave us, is on devolution of security to the citizen. So that you take care of your neighbors. Watoto, for instance, you go back to those markets and so forth. If I saw mama anabeba watoto yake na wanaenda kwa soko, wanatembea too carelessly like this, na watoto yao, I say that mama is not right. Fugia watoto, kwa sababu watoto they are super spreaders. Kwangu they are not allowed to come to say jambo to us, na kama wanakuja tunaambiwa watakuja siku fulani. So you see all of us prepare.
Okay, now as my director is telling me we are almost out of time, but just as we bring this conversation to a close, we're also dealing with a population that are in a phase that they are reluctant to even get their vaccines. There are those that got the first jab and they feel like they are properly protected, and the AstraZeneca is a 2-dose jab for it to be effective. And there are those who just say, Mimi staki hiyo vaccine, I don't know where it came from, I don't think it has enough potency to protect me. There's this vaccine apathy among the people. As we close, maybe your advice to the people who are against getting vaccinated, and what other stakeholders can come into play to help remind the people that they need to protect themselves amid this pandemic.
It's a painful thing that I'm going to say. I apologize to that doctor from the Catholic Association of Doctors. Si alidharau coronavirus. Ako wapi sasa? Ako wapi? He was a doctor, isn't it? please get vaccinated. Don't play against science. Global scientists, WHO, the Kenya government, Ministry of Health, the Doctors Association in this country, the Nurses Association, they are all saying vaccinate. Our problem is because of the international problem we are facing, politics of vaccination,
yes.
We don't have enough. I can tell you we don't have enough.
Yes,
ni wachache sana who are having that bad mouthing. Wewe, you remember the story of the hyena where everybody agreed to go and beat their shosho, but the sungura went to beat Darwa, Gozi. But fisi sijui na nani walienda kuua their shosho. Wewe utabaki peke yako, utaumia peke yako. Do not test this virus. It is mutating, it's changing. Right now is Delta.
It's getting
we
smarter.
do not know which other one is coming. So get vaccinated. And I wish, no, in fact, the one you are saying, I think there are very few who do not want to get vaccinated. They're asking, when will it come? There is so much, even now. I have some people here who say, ukisikia pahali iko niambie. The truth of the matter is many would like to be vaccinated. They are obeying their government, they are obeying their medics, they are obeying WHO. Okay. So let us all get together and obey this new change.
Okay.
We were told by Mutai, if you don't change, utamalizwa. We cannot continue the way it was. So don't have that problem. But back to this message, that if you are an indisciplined politician and you watch kwa TV, uone a leader who is addressing people without this barakoa and without good social distance, please, God help, usivote yeye next year. Mark them out. That one I have no apology to make, because I get angry when I see people that I have been serving, preserving their life
and risking the life of the
wanakuwa tempted na mtu ambaye hana discipline, hasikilizi serikali, hawasikilizi serikali, wanaenda tu kiholela.
All right, that is a call to action message for you as a viewer, and also for you as a leader in whatever capacity that you are in. Do not risk the life of the greater majority of people just because you are looking for a job come next year. Will that person that you are risking their life be there to vote for you next year? Consider that as you go out campaigning. That is all the time we had for this particular conversation.
Wambui, you are very civil.
And
I'm sorry, MD, if I was very, very rough.
It is well, it is well. We have been speaking with Joseph Kaguthi. He is the former provincial commissioner as well as the former chair of the Nyumba Kumi program. Thank you so much for making time to be with us today.
Thank you, Wambui.
And with that, we want to say goodbye. Thank you so much for being with us through and through. Be sure to join us again tomorrow morning for another fantastic edition of Good Morning Kenya. I am Jain Wambui. Have a lovely day. God bless. See you tomorrow.